Banff National Park, one of the most beautiful places not just in Canada, but in the world. Soak in the stunning mountain scenery and brilliant turquoise lakes on a 2-day adventure through Banff. Then, hop across the provincial line into British Columbia to hike Takkakaw Falls and visit Emerald Lake in Yoho National Park. And to think, this is not even scratching the surface. Our adventure through the Canadian Rockies is only just beginning.
Good morning, everyone, from Cochrane, Alberta. Today is a day I've been looking forward to pretty much since this trip began, because we're heading up to Banff National Park. Our first stop here in Banff is the Tunnel Mountain Scenic Drive. There's a chance of rain down at the south end of the park kind of midday today, so we're going to try and get the south end of the park taken care of and then head up north where it's much less likely to rain. So, everything down here near the town of Banff, at the south end of the park, is all just scenic drives, so that's what we're going to be doing first. Even with the Trans-Canada Highway directly above us, it's still incredibly peaceful and serene right here. Now we're going to see if we can take a drive up Mount Norquay to see if we can get some aerial views. Yeah, they say that this Mount Norquay road here is pretty much the free equivalent of the Banff Gondola, because you can just drive right up it and it's got pretty similar views and doesn't cost a dime. Well, the only thing up at the very top there was just a restaurant in the woods, which explains why all the people were pulled off at the little turnout down here, because that's where the views are. Well, we finished up here just in time, because look what just drove in. Alright, we are back on the Trans-Canada, and next up on the list of scenic drives is the Bow Valley Parkway, which is just eye candy all around, so enjoy. Welcome to the famous Morant's Curve.
Named after photographer Nicholas Morant, Morant's Curve is one of the most iconic spots not just in Banff, but in all of Canada. Morant worked as a photographer for the Canadian Pacific Railway in the mid-20th century to create promotional material for the railway. His work in Banff was so successful it promoted tourism to all of Western Canada. Morant's Curve was his favorite spot to photograph passing trains. You can find it on the Bow Valley Parkway just a few kilometers south of the town of Lake Louise. Trains run roughly every 30 minutes.
I wonder if this is our train we just saw at Morant's Curve there. So we are just about to hop over the border here to BC and check out Yoho National Park. We're going to try and make it up to Emerald Lake, hoping that there's parking up there. Up over the Continental Divide we go.
Before we head to Emerald Lake, we're making a quick stop on the way to hike Takkakaw Falls.
Must be getting up close to the top because the sun's back out. There the falls are, so we're getting towards the end of the road here. Our next stop is at Emerald Lake. Gonna go try and find some of these brilliantly beautiful turquoise lakes that make Banff and Yoho and Jasper so famous. Our final stop of this first day of the epic Banff Jasper Yoho adventure is going to be at Lake Minnewanka, back at the town of Banff. So we are heading back up over the Continental Divide from the BC side back to the Alberta side, and we'll see you at the lake. Banff seems even more beautiful driving through it today, the second time, than it was yesterday driving through it the first time. So we're gonna run the Bow Valley Parkway up to Lake Louise again because we got plenty of time and it's a lot more scenic, and there's a lot fewer cars on it than the Trans-Canada. So we're here at Storm Mountain, which is another place that we forgot to stop at yesterday. And it's pretty spectacularly beautiful. A tour bus. Well, those tour buses arriving are our cue to get the you-know-what out of here. Check engine light has once again come back on for the second time in about 4 days, 3 or 4 days. So I think the seal on my gas cap is starting to go, but there's not much you can do about it when you're out in the middle of the woods here, so we're just going to carry on. Back on the Trans-Canada, next stop, the Icefields Parkway.
With majestic mountains, stunning glaciers, and brilliant turquoise lakes, Alberta's Icefields Parkway is the most scenic drive in the world. Next time, dive headfirst into the heart of our Canadian Rockies adventure as we drive north up the Icefields Parkway from Banff to Jasper. Around every corner and every bend, you'll find Mother Nature showing off at her finest.